G'day, Shane here. I thought I should possibly do a brief explanation as to the selection of the piece "Song of the Pine Tree." I made a comment in my review of last week as to, we'd sort of considered this earlier, etc., but had decided not to. And I'm not sure if it was that or things in the lesson or not, but I've had a couple of comments. One of which said that something to the tune of when they were trying to do it at my age, they just kept in mind that a 7-year-old could reach it that span. So if a 7-year-old could do it, they could too, and I totally agree with that. And another one concerned about my health and whether I had a wrist accident of some sort or another. So I thought I'd just try and sort of go into a little bit more detail as to how we came to the process of picking the Song of the Pine Tree and what I really meant in terms of or clarifying, if you like, of what I said in my earlier videos. So first up, I haven't had a wrist injury, so wrists are all fine. I don't want to get a wrist injury, which is probably the crux of what this is all really about. And the second thing is that, yes, I can actually, my fingers can easily hit the span of an octave, so it's not about having short fingers either. It's about trying to get the proper technique. Now, about 6 weeks ago, I was looking for a new piece. So we'd finished whatever the piece was before that, I can't remember now. And Song of the Pine Tree is a piece that I quite like the sound of. I really want to play it because I like the sound of it and I want to learn to play it. But Jane back then, and to some degree still now, was concerned that my technique development at that point in my journey was not good enough to be able to do Song of the Pine Tree with comfort. Now, it's a learner piece, right? So it's not like it's an advanced piece, but technique is important because technique is what allows you to, when you get to the bigger levels, when you're doing sort of grade 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., it allows you to practice for an hour or so a day and not have to sort of shake your wrists out and get massages and things like that to sort yourself out. You need to be good posture, good technique, good use of your wrist. And while I could certainly reach the keys and I could actually play them in a claw-like fashion, that would be putting quite a lot of tension, if you like, into my arms and my wrists, etc., which is not good. It's not good technique. And so way back then, 6 weeks or so ago, we had a go. She just spent 5 minutes and we just tried to move the wrist, and it just wasn't happening. So at that point, we decided to go with Intercity Stomp as the piece that I'd be learning at that point. And that's the piece that I've been learning for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I can't remember how many now. And we retired it this week. And because we were retiring it, we came to saying, well, what's the next piece to learn? And we said, okay, well, let's have a look at Song of the Pine Tree again. Has my technique progressed enough that it's worth having a go at that? So we had another go, another sort of quick sort of 5-minute check and see. And James still a bit, but I thought, maybe. So we thought it's worth a go. So we put it into the mix to have a go. Now, I can't show you I can't flip the camera, so I'm going to stop this and I'll just have to stitch it together with another piece. But I'll show you what I mean by technique. Bearing in mind that I got the piece yesterday. I've done my first practice session with it today, which means I've practiced it for half an hour, because that's what I do with my first practice after new pieces. I basically just devote that practice to that piece. So I've done half an hour on it, and you're seeing it. Half an hour's worth of practice on it. That's all you're seeing. Okay, so swapping the cameras over now. Alrighty, I'm back again. So I'm just going to show you. So I can reach the A to the A span, as you'll see there, and I can play the pieces like that. That's bad, right? Because my arm is not moving, and it's going to get quite tired quite quickly, and having to play that for my practice sessions over and over again, I'm going to get quite sore. So the technique is one where I have to sort of maneuver my wrist like that, and I haven't got it to a point where I'm very good at it yet. So I'm going to bring Jane in, and Jane will show you how it's meant to be done.
Alrighty. So the pine tree, part of the problem is you've got to get back down to the low A. So if I had just that, then a more sort of still hand, as it were, might be okay if I just had that to do. But the issue is it repeats the pattern round and round. So you've got to get back down in order to get to that low A again. So if I just put my second finger there, and we did this in the lesson yesterday, you can see my wrist is doing a circular action. So if I've reached that note, I've got to get back down. So my wrist has got to come around. So it's that type of circular action, which means I can do fast stuff without getting tired. So if I hold it static, see the difference? I can play that with my fingers, that's fine. I'm not moving. The effort's all in each individual finger. Whereas if I do that, slow it right down, it's the gesture through that lets me play that. And it means I can then do faster stuff in comfort rather than static. And I'm already feeling that getting tight. So that's what we were working on. It's just keeping that nice and loose.